Pardon me.
Alright, it is going to be Nukamati walking up into that top lane, the off lane, so maybe we'll see that. I mean, a hero like the Grimstroke can die very easily to an aggressive lane, so we'll see what happens there.
Couple wards getting put down. J4 trying to scout for one. No such smoke movements like we saw game one, which didn't pan out anyway.
It's for you. It's the beast police.
Classic, simply too based a voice line. That'll get a tip at least off from me. He's a fan. Master tier ADZ or ADZ or ads potentially, however you prefer it. Going to be taking up the middle lane versus the Zeus. Again, I think a matchup he is going to really enjoy. Zeus doesn't really like it when heroes get up close and personal. He's got the move speed of Mario, but except you can't really press the B button to sprint. He doesn't get away from things too easily. Doesn't like building a lot of mobility, pardon me. Would rather just go for like Ag's Refresher, basically. Maybe the Shard could help him here. You know, that little static field active, but my goodness, Void Spirit's just got way too much mobility for him.
Yeah, on the other hand, it's not too bad until level 6 happens, but the second you get the Astral Step, it's pretty much time to just leave that lane. I don't think you can sit against him at all.
Yeah, I'd say the point. Pre-level 6 is actually pretty good for Zeus. I fear like it's one of those win lane, lose game kind of picks where, you know, in the post-game chat, your core is saying, but guys, I beat him. I killed him twice in lane. How did we lose? And it's like, well, he killed you 8 times after that. But who knows? Maybe that's going to be enough to really hamper the start here of ads. Of course, starting with a magic stick, one of the very few mid laners I would kind of always go with a stick against. I wonder, has DP started with a stick as well? Laning versus the PA? Not quite. Tanner certainly has, however. As, of course, plenty of stick charge to be thrown, and even Weaver pretty good to have a stick against. However, nice positioning there from J4. Tanner turns with a stun. There's another Crypt Swarm in a couple of seconds. Tanner juking in the trees, actually pops the healing salve, I think I heard. That's not going to keep him alive. And that is first blood then for Ulmit.
Already a much better start there for Ghost Frogs. Great positioning from J4 as well, just providing the vision and avoiding the double stun, just making sure that there was absolutely nowhere for Tanner to run.
On mid lane, Tanner, sorry, make that Mastermind having a really good start, as you'd expect the Zeus to have, versus basically almost any melee hero. And is really swimming in the gold. 6-2, 4-0, so adds not doing too poor of a job so far. And of course, every 10 spells he gets that max regen on the stick. Not until he gets the bottle will he be really safe and sound in this lane. 5 stick charges here, so and the Fairy Fire, so Mastermind cannot easily get the kill, but second point in Arc Lightning already, so the damage is going to start to ramp up. Ulmit stays alive bottom, as Tanner cannot quite yet reach him with the damage. Another Impale in 3 seconds, but the Sakuchi is going to be cut short. Ulmit, though, makes the jump forward with the dagger, does get the kill, but Tanner is going to be able to be the last man standing in this bottom lane. Kill, though, for the PA, does get the solo XP of the kill onto the DP. She was out of mana and regen anyway. Just about goes even there, I'd say.
Yeah, I was going to ask, where was the salve? There actually was a salve available, but decided to go for the aggressive play instead of resetting and regenning.
Just wanted the pick off there. Nice CS there from DP. Clean move. And once again, I'm just still really surprised how well Ads is doing in this mid lane. That might change now. Catching the Zeus with the Aether Remnant. And there's the bottle finally delivered. He'll go ahead and sip on this. His throat has been quite parched in this lane by all the Arc Lightnings jumping around. Are they fighting again bottom? Oh, it looks like it was. They're contesting the pole, or at least trying to. Tanner doing a good job of aggroing the creep wave over to the side, trying to pull him as well even further. Ulmit at least will take a lot of damage out from the wave from this. But other than that, just a bit of skirmishing. Top lane, Sand King going for the Sandstorm builds, not really opting for the Burrow Strike into full Caustic, not full Aggression. I think this kind of leaves Nukumati's game. He's going to be fine, actually. You can Mega Stack with Shadow Poison. I think this is going to be just kind of a farm lane.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I would have preferred that hyper-aggressive build coming out from the Shadow Demon plus the Sand King, but like you say, worst-case scenario, you just go back, you stack the triangle, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Zeus is great for taking stacks, Phantom Assassin likewise later on, so...
Very true, very true. Phantom Assassin, at this stage, you're going to need plenty of stacks. 12 and 1, not really doing too hot here. So lots of creep wave shenanigans have kind of kept her out bay. J4 doing his best here to try and at least get some damage in on the Tanner, but honestly, not a bad lane for... Not a bad offlane at all, considering what you're into, right? DP managing to outrange and out-harass both of these heroes that she's up against. Nyx Assassin, sure, Geminate attack usually a bit annoying for most supports, but not for him. He's got that damage block as well as high armor and really high regen, so he's able to tank through this very easily alongside the magic wand.
Yeah, do you have to wonder what the item buildup is going to be for Death Prophet later on? Because I don't think you want to get a Yule Scepter against the Shadow Demon, who can easily push that off with his ultimate.
Yeah, that's
maybe
a
a
good question.
BKB rush?
That's a good question. BKB... Wouldn't mind seeing something like a Sanj and Kaya. The problem is when you start building too much like a mid laner, you require the farm that a mid laner would normally take. This bot lane keeps going swimmingly, you might get the space to get away with that. But assuming that they end up rotating someone bot eventually to deal with her, I don't think you can safely plan on doing that. Yeah, I really wonder what it's going to be then. We're about to hit level 6 mid lane as the 5-minute wagons are running their way to battle. Or I guess rolling. They don't have legs, luckily. That'd be a little spooky.
I can't wait for that to happen. When there's like a walking siege creep skin.
No, thank you. No, thank you. I don't even use them anymore. I used to use all those skins, but then they looked confusing when you got them on for a broadcast. Here's level 6. That's got it. As does Mastermind, however. So Zeus ult now is at the ready. Luckily for Olmit, the Zeus is on the enemy team because he was being pushed quite far back. But with the healing salve, he is going to be topped up and the full ring of health. So I'm wondering how far he's going to go into this BKB. I hope it's not a naked BKB. Boots would be really nice here in this game generally, as there's the Zeus ulti for the kill top lane. That was a fast one. Lots of burst damage here between the Shadow Poison as well as, of course, Zeus.
Yeah, knowing that the Grimstroke was out of lane, and you know, that's more what I expect. You know, that's a very scary burst combination to go up against, and Wraith King now picking up the infused range drops a bit too late. Might have actually made the difference there. He is level 6, however, although we will soon be level 6, but we probably won't be skilling that up anyway with the ultimate just holding on to the point.
Yeah, it's
Just
a lot
level 5. Solo EXP is going to be good, but can they actually come in and do something? I'm not too sure about this one. I'm a bit scared for LeBron.
LeBron gets the kill on the courier. Bot lanes where the action was really going on, though, as the PA is going to be dropped. Top lane, though, this is a really important tower siege. They will finally clear the wagon at the least. Ghost Rogues are doing their best to occupy the creep wave, but the tower eventually is going to aggro on over to it. Bottom, nice and pale. That's going to end up finding the kill even. I think just outside of sentry range there. Didn't quite toggle over to the vision fast enough, but a very, very nice double kill in this bottom lane. And now the wagon really starting to do some damage. There's an Exo soon, basically one more creep. There's not enough mana, though, to activate it, so it doesn't look like they'll be able to really, really get some too much tower damage in, pardon me. Since they have lost the top tier 1. It's denied, actually, by Focus. Tanner killing himself underneath the tier 2 tower. Nothing too big there.
This is the stage of the game where the stacks really start coming into play. Nukumati going to be getting that going, as we were saying, in the triangle. One of the best heroes when it comes to making multiple stacks quite easily.
The Coddle also really up there. Mastermind, though, they're making the jump. There's going to be the Inkswell, even silenced by the Phantom's Embrace. Gets off the wand, charges a couple more spells onto Ads. It's taken Ads quite a while to actually find this kill. Finally has done so, but he's going to die to the tower because all of the reinforcements that have shown up. Now LeBron getting ran down underneath his tier 2 tower. Tanner already up to level 6. He'll be able to escape. There's a sentry placed to try and scout him, which does, and also is going to be able to find an observer ward. Big win there for Ghost Frogs. Still lose the Zeus, but they do end up getting a big punish out of it. Exo's active down bottom, and that's going to be a good blink out, a nice map read there. Sentry Ward scouting out Tanner.
Thunder God's Wrath is back up, and we are going to be TPing in for the defense, it seems.
Yep, Allnet as well is going to be showing up to actively defend his tower. As there's the jump. Thunder God's Wrath, not enough damage though. DP turning and life-stealing way too much. Has the casual cloak. There's the stun onto 2. Allnet in a lot of trouble, not to mention Mastermind, because ADZ is here. There's the kill onto Mastermind. Gets it with the right click. Tanner's going to go down this time to the tier 1 tower, tanking the shots for his mid laner. And that is going to be the walk of shame back for the Zeus. Allnet has to TP away. Luckily, mid lane is pushing, so he'll get some farm there. J4 scouted, caught as well with the 8th Armament. There's the sentry put down, Phantom's Embrace, and the kill on the Inkswell. A thing of beauty from ITB. As they will be able to get 2 kills down bottom, boot the PA, and take the tier 1.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, honestly, wouldn't have been too bad if Ghost had perhaps managed to survive on, you know, just soak up some more EXP, hit level 6, get the time lapse available, but ends up going down. Tower was pretty much dead no matter what. I do like this smoke up though.
Yeah. Sorry, just needing to check something there. Is Nukumati, well, he needs to check his spacing and check for the invisible heroes. Tanner's going to set up for the kill onto him. Underneath the tier 2 tower, Ads is fighting alongside this Death Prophet. They're in pretty deep here. LeBron is going to be picked off with the Swarm, as a beautiful stun will stun up both Ads as well as the DP. DP taken down. Ads in a lot of trouble. He's got Dissemblate at the ready, and as well as another Astral Step in 5 more seconds. Slowed to a crawl. He's going to choose to head into the trees, where he's got Tanner here to support him, using that Astral Step defensively. Nukumati now respawning, quick to drop the ultimate onto the Nyx. Down he goes.
So much minus armor coming out between the Weaver and the Phantom Assassin. Has that Orb of Corrosion. And this time around, they take down the Death Prophet, who doesn't actually have that much armor. The build seems to be very much against the magic damage. Is going to be going for that early BKB after that casual hood, which means very little bonus armor. So Phantom Assassin eventually was able to get the job done there.
And that's going to be Power Treads, Ring of Health, and pretty soon BKB. It's going to be like a 13, 14 minute, sorry, not BKB, make that Battle Fury. DP in the meantime, since we're curious about her build, Hood into the BKB, like you were saying. Of course, Hood of Defiance, a classic offlane item. And versus a Zeus, it's almost even tempting to build a pipe. Good item though, very expensive, not very frequently purchased, for good reason. But who knows, man. Zeus is definitely one of those heroes. And Sand King, I mean, so much of your burst is magical. I might consider it. It's an expensive one, though.
Be going for this tower, and this is what this lineup absolutely can do. You've got the ultimate available on the Wraith King, just hasn't skilled it up. But every single time you press that Exorcism, if all you're getting is one tower and nothing else, that does perhaps give a little more time to Ghost, at least compared to the last game where the tower killing just never stopped. The Pugna, the OD with the Meteor Hammer, just constant pressure coming out. This time, definitely the game is a bit slower, and just in general, ITB don't have that overwhelming lead.
Mid lane, J4. I think he got off the time lapse there, but it still makes the jump on him. There's going to be the disruption save. Is that going to get him out? Yes, or at least buy him enough time for the time lapse. See you later. Space created, lots of time wasted, lots of spells wasted. But ITB, they're not going to take that on the nose. They're going to smoke up and look for another kill. Over to the top lane they will go, where there is currently Ulnet farming away. He's going to blur, jump the creep wave right next to the DP. Ulnet has a TP, very quick to use it, and he's off and away. Ads cannot close the gap fast enough, even using the one Astral Step. Nice plays by Ghost Frogs, as they're reading the map very well and playing around where the enemies are looking to fight them. Sand King almost the full Blink Dagger, so they're going to be hitting an item timing singular here at least. As this smoke finally timing out, LeBron is at least going to scout this big ol' Ancient stack that Olmet's looking to farm. Olmet still without a BKB, however, so he can't really get the job done on his own. Bottom, Sand King underneath the Sentries. They're going to reflect the stun. Using the Carapace. Has still, of course, the Burrow Strike to get out. No, actually, he's used it. Pardon me. 2 seconds, he's got it again, but a big old crit from Focus. See you later. And Focus heading right into the MKB. So it's not going to be the Armlet Deso, but it's still a fast-fighting Wraith King here. But he just needs to make sure he can actually hit this PA.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm actually very surprised that he goes for this item because I don't think the PA is going to be that big of an issue until much later on.
Mr. Mind in trouble. Inkswell as well is going to find 2. The disseminate damage as well doubled. Nice spacing there as Ad's taking off the Zeus super easily. Yeah, I don't know about MKB. I don't really know. I mean, it's a lot of damage, which is going to go nicely with your crit, of course, and it's almost pretty much guaranteed hits onto the PA. I think it's reasonable, though, but yeah, I would have suspected you had enough magic damage to kind of get rid of the PA. Because my question is, like, what are you really scared of obviously, if you build MKB? PA's evasion, right? But if you're building it this early, that means you're expecting to be fighting her this early. And I'd really only be scared of the PA once she, has a BKB. Maybe even Desolator and BKB, and I'm properly scared of her. That's still quite a ways away. I mean, it's 15 minutes, and Battle Fury is going to be finished here maybe by 16 minutes.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's, because you get the Desolator also gives you very good Roshan early on.
Yep.
You pop an Exorcism, take the tier 1 tower, just head right into Roshan. You can take both in one fell swoop quite often, so would much rather see that item, but we'll see. Sand King, he's got his Blink Dagger finally, even after that little death, so looking for something a little bit cheeky, but you really need to pick your targets well.
LeBron just dropping this puppy line. Yeah, and this is almost BKB online for the DP. About 1,000 more gold needed, just a touch more. Anything else really exciting? Not quite yet. Except our first item here for Ads is he's going to make the jump first onto Onmi, who's just not going to really get to blink out. And there's going to be now the Phantom's Embrace. At least Dodge does get the Burrow Strike out. No, that was the blink. Pardon me. He's going to escape. They had enough time in the disruption. It proved me wrong. Not quite the blink reveal he wanted, but at least it does avoid a death. Buying more time for the Zeus to get up this Ag Scepter. Still a component and a half away, so we might get a fight in this mid lane. Onami is going to go for it. Reflects the stun, but it doesn't matter because he does find Ads. That's the kill. Now the revenge is breaking out as Tanner is going to be able to double up on the Mana Void, but so much damage coming through. He's going to pop. Caustic Finale as well. Nearly kills LeBron, but it's going to be Focus who shows up and cleans up. As he takes down Onmi. Nukumari fall into the Stroke of Fate.
Yeah, you're very okay with that, though. Your position 1 and position 2 on Ghost Rocks, they were farming up. Olmet finally able to clear out that Ancient stack since he has that Battle Fury. And we are just that much closer to the Aghanim Scepter on the Zeus. He's about to hit level 12 as well. Would be very unfortunate if he was to go down, but the second you have all these items, you don't even need the Phantom Assassin, honestly, in a lot of these fights. Just a combination of the Blink, the Axe, that can do a lot of damage here.
Mid lane setting up for a siege. They only get vision on one there. Tumbler's Toy, however, used to get Sand King out of dodge. Exo level 1 still used. We were pretty close to Exo 2. He's going to go ahead and drop a tip there for that one, and I'm kind of inclined to agree, but that might have been a bit of a preemptive tip because there's a creep wave pushing in down bottom, and ITB are going to look to take advantage of this Exo by taking a tower.
I think you just let this one go. I think you let this one go, you get the Aghanim Scepter on the Zeus, and then you go for the fight, but trying to force it now when you don't really have good vision control and the enemy's sitting on high ground, I'm not too sure about this one.
Has no Zeus ulti for another 30 seconds, and we're still waiting another 20 for an Epicenter, but the Fortify is going to be enough, at least for now, to get ITV to reconsider the push. Exorcism Ghosts have returned. But so far, ITB have not made the choice to really recover. Okay, they're going to be able to find at least Tanner, but he's going to return and stun up too. The silence is big on a couple of heroes. That's Ag Scepter for Ads, and he's going to clean shop. Down goes the Zeus. Only Nukumati so far alive, but in a terrible spot here. Killed now by the Crypt Swarm of the DP. And there is once again the return to tip, and why I said that seemed a bit preemptive.
Yeah, very questionable to me for all the reasons that I've already said. I mean, you bring in the Phantom Assassin, but, you know, PA doesn't really want to fight right now. 1,000 gold away from the BKB. It's just such awkward timing. And fundamentally, this PA hero, if you're not able to join a good fight without that BKB, it's so hard to join later on, just try and clean up. It's just not going to work out. So yeah, I would much rather them just wait a tiny bit, wait for the BKB, wait for the Yags on the Zeus. I mean, as it stands, I mean, we're, what, 19 minutes in, and our Zeus pretty much doesn't have a single item. He's got a Soul Ring and a bottle, and that's it, really.
His best item is Vambrace, and that's a neutral. That's really saying something. Yeah, they are struggling, and like I said, Zeus, not a hero in the meta. I mean, we've only seen him really in DPC. I would wager before this game, the only games that Zeus has been picked in, regardless of a win or loss, has been into TB. And there's not even that many TB games anymore these days. All right, TB. Speaking of TB, I mean, they've got a lot of games. They might not have a game 3 on their hands, though, because this is a very promising smoke gank opportunity. They're going to find one. The disruption, though, very annoying. Counter initiation this time is looking real good for Moanme, though. There's the follow-up magic damage. It's almost nuked down, and Olnet jumps on in to secure the kill onto the Void Spirit. DP Exo is active. They've only gotten Nukumati, who's actually going to buy back here. Noob as well showing up in this fight. They're still having to deal with this Exorcism. Zeus now has his Nimbus online. DP able to shrug it off, though, and the lifesteal is pretty darn good versus the Sand King. Olnet has the opportunity to jump down to the low ground, getting the first life of Focus, who's going to turn and smash here with that MKB. Cannot fight into Focus, but look at the magic damage here onto him. That Soul Catcher doing work, and that's going to be now finally Focus dropped. DP still healing off of the Ghost, still has a little bit more silence, but will eventually still fall. And a big fight for Ghost Frogs. That's the fight they should have taken. That's the fight with Epicenter, with the Zeus Ags. Oh my goodness, what a much better fight for them.
Yeah, very prepared for that smoke. Great positioning on the supports, but we're seeing the fundamental problem with the Zeus pick here.
Oh, fancy footwork at least. I mean, he's still dead, but at least he dodges Impale. Owned to me. He's nearby. See him. There's a Soulbind. They're going to send some Ghosts now onto 2. They're both invis. And, well, there's not really enough catch here off the Soulbind to really fight anymore. Yeah, much more promising initiation. That's how that fight should have started, bottom, because I was going to say that it feels so awkward when you lose a team fight and then you respawn and then you ping all of your abilities and say, okay, guys, we're ready to fight now. Like that, okay, well, what does that imply? I guess we shouldn't have just fought? Like,
Yeah, just following by the logic, and that was, you know, that was something that we were saying going into this. It's so obvious when your Zeus is just 500 gold away from the Axe. It's such a big upgrade to his damage when you've got good setups for it, such as the Sand King.
And what a jump by Sand King as well. 3 heroes lining up for that stun into the Zeus ulti, into Caustic Finale. Oh man, he was eating good. Focus though, he's eating stuns underneath his tier 2 tower. Does not have reincarnation. He's down for 50. 4 heroes right now top lane for Ghost Frogs. Continuing to fight it out, though, is going to be ITB. DP activating the BKB, but slow to a crawl by the Demonic Purge. Is BKB now for Olnet. He's going to go onto LeBron. Another Epicenter into the stun. Catches 2, and the crits are big here. Olnet still fighting, making the jump onto the DP, and it's throwing down the Remnants, trying to make a little bit of space for himself. Has at least the jump away in 2 seconds. There it is. Nice dodge on the stun, but he's going to have to run right into Olnet, completing the team wipe. That was a 4v5. Zeus, all he does is drop a Nimbus in that fight, and I guess the ultimate. But just with the BKB alone, a breath of life here into Ghost Frogs.
Yeah, great timing for Ghost Frogs, taking that fight just before the reincarnation comes up, just before the exorcism is there. And the Death Prophet walks in with the BKB active, but does absolutely nothing. Doesn't have the vision to get the Spirit Siphon off, doesn't have the exorcism anyway. So pretty much just ignored the entire fight until the rest of her team was cleaned up. So great for Ghost. They are able to get the Aegis as well, which is great for them, but also denies it to the enemy team. And an Aegis on a Death Prophet plus the Wraith King, we saw that sort of double life in the previous game that can be so scary. That's not going to be happening this time around. Ghost really looking to turn this game around, really looking to turn this series around as well.
Yep, this is a promising start. In some trouble and dead. However, it is going to be J4, caught by the Nyx Assassin. Tower goes down. LeBron is going to die to the BKB'd PA. Wraith King very willing to fight it. And again, Wraith King bought an MKB specifically for this reason. Eul Scepter used, but it's not going to really save Sand King here as his own Eul Scepter, as he's going to set himself up for the Aether Remnant. So they get the Tier 1 tower, they get LeBron and a buyback from him, but they will be forced back. And actually, Focus is going to lead the team across the river. They're going hunting.
Now they do have all of their big cooldowns, but fighting into an Aegis is always going to be scary. Death Prophet, though, that casual chainmail, plate mail rather, really does make a huge difference, because that's your only real defensive tool. You can't really rely on your mobility to just run around these fights when there's so many stuns. You've got the Demonic Purge from the Shadow Demon as well. So just being able to sit there and take hits from the Phantom Assassin, that's going to be huge.
Yeah, that's Demonic Purge a really big problem, especially in that top fight. Not only was the Demonic Purge punishing, but you don't really want to be running around as a DP in the middle of those trees, because pathing gets real dumb, and then you can't Spirit Siphon anyone, and then you just die. But everyone's now back up alive for the Ghost Frogs. They are going to, once again, head aggressively onto the enemy side of the river. They're feeling a little bit more in control now. All the actives and abilities ready to go. There's going to be the smoke. Bots for Zeus, immediately into Refresher. Bots, not a meaningless upgrade. Of course, the mobility is nice, and the move speed, I think, is the biggest deal. But, again, basically just 2 items here on Zeus. Or just really the one with Ag Scepter. Okay, upon focus, casual stun onto him. Ad's going to bite and make the jump. He's going to eat a Sand King. Scorpion is down. Dispatch of all the illusions as Focus jumping forward from looking for more. J4, he's going to be scouted as he comes out from under the invisibility, stunned up, but still dodging them quite nicely there. Even dodging my camera with the time lapse. He's off and away.
Yeah, so far not really able to achieve too much with this Aegis. Honestly, I'd much rather see them play around the top side area. They've already got some vision set up there. You know, there was smoke. Try and set up, play around the vision rather than go and force fights.
Yep, Nukamadish is dead. Came into the river to help stack. Was maybe trying to scout the power rune. It'll go into bottom of ads. That's a dieback for him as well, actually, I've just noticed. Dead for a whole minute and 15 seconds. This kind of sucks for Ghost Frogs. I mean, you had a really, really great fight. 2 really great fights, in fact, in a row. You take Roche, and this entire Aegis duration has kind of felt like, oh no, we don't have our abilities, or we don't have all our heroes online. Focus is fighting versus Ulnet. Ulnet BKB's here. That's just the first life, however, for Focus. Ulnet still has a second life, of course, almost getting through the DP immediately, but has been kited a bit. Oh, they actually managed to interrupt and stun up Mastermind, so there's going to be no Sand King in this fight. Crucially, no Epicenter. The Eul Scepter is for J4. He's going to use that on himself and be able to time lapse at least. The fight's gone awry here for Ghost Frogs. They've lost the Aegis. They've lost the Sand King. Now they've also lost his buyback. He's not going to get anything for it.
That casual plate mail on the Death Prophet. If not for that, absolutely would have gone down to the initial damage coming out there from Ulnet. But because of that, what, 10 armor? Survives for it all, and it's a completely different fight. They're actually able to get out successfully. If not, I mean, Ghost possibly could have chased things down. That could have been potentially very bad. I mean, it still was a close fight, no matter how you look at it. Nearly went down a second time when the Wraith King nearly went down on the Death Prophet. And without these 2 big damage sources, you know, Ad's, sure, he's very strong, but it's not quite the same continuous damage output that you're seeing from the other cores.
Yep, pretty much. That's Void Spirit's problem in a nutshell, especially around this stage of the game, especially with this build. Ags, Kaya, and even actually this Nether Shawl. So he's buffed his damage just about as much as he reasonably could on the Void Spirit, but that's just that. I mean, he's got fixed damage. It doesn't increase. Oh my goodness, is this a kill casually onto the PA? They're going to force her BKB. She's going to turn and have to fight in this one. Onemi's going to miss the stun onto Ads, however, as Tanner stuns him up a second time. Ads out of mobility, has nothing to get him out of this one. So it was actually a bit of a bait. Those Ghost Frogs reinforce very quickly. Of course, the Zeus not there, but can still support globally with the Nimbus. And that is not how they wanted that one to go. Having to use both Astral Steps to be able to jump the PA meant he didn't have one to escape if he needed to. No save for ITB compared to, of course, Nukumati.
Gonna be looking for a bit of a fight here. Exorcism still down for 30 seconds, but even if they don't find anyone, I'd like to see them try and get some vision set up, which just doesn't seem to be the case. We only have a sentry on the Weaver, no wards on the Shadow Demon either, and you know, when you go for smokes, obviously you want to be getting kills, but if not that, you know, please try and get some vision set up.
Tanner.
This is something, though.
I don't want to say Tanner forgot there was a Zeus in the game, but there's a Zeus in the game, which makes split pushing and TPing away just about impossible. He was really patient there, not sticking around to farm the whole wave, even blinking it into some safe trees, but Zeus. So unable to escape. And this, of course,
Soon to have that refresher, and that's obviously huge. Just the raw damage that can come out, but even the ability to chain stun somewhat if you stagger your two Nimbuses, that can be pretty big as well.
You know what I'm really curious about? I mean, obviously Zeus X is going to be much better than Void Spirit, but I'm really surprised no one's ever messed around with a Void Spirit refresher, because you get all your charges refreshed as well. You go back up to the max charges. So, you know, Astral Step twice, get off all your silences, you know, Dissemblate, be in the big ones, and then just do it again, right? I'm really surprised no one's ever considered that.
Yeah,
Because
well, the BKB, I can absolutely see that being a build.
True. Because, I mean, it's the go-to on Zeus, because, like, what are you going to do? Right-click them? Like, you're a Zeus. That's not happening. Just kind of curious.
Yeah, because it's pretty well known on, say, like, an Ember Spirit. You get a casual, or not a casual, but you get the Refresher Shard from Roshan. That can be very good with all of your remnants. So
I've even seen it on those pub stomp builds, you know, where you just kind of are carrying the game. You go, like, I don't know, Maelstrom over Corrosion, Ags, and just refresh and just kill everyone with all your remnants. Shard, of course, so you get one back every time. It's always a fun build. Just Refresher, kind of the star of this patch. Refresher, BKB, both those items are very strong. But
yeah, we're working towards the Aghanim Scepter on the Shadow Demon as well, which is really good against DP and the Wraith King, in my opinion. We'll see if you can actually get there.
Smoke. This is promising. Onlit is blurred. They don't have vision on the high ground, but they're going to be able to make it up with other smokes breaking. There's going to be the jump in. They go for the Zeus first. He's the easy kill, and most importantly, he's all the damage, all the magic damage, because, of course, Onlit still has a fair amount. Mastermind getting off the ultimate this time. It is not going to save Onlit. He's taken down. Oh, no, and this fight has fallen apart as the blink out focus is there waiting for Onimi and hits him with a big old crit. The BKB charge that time on focus making all the difference. Doesn't even lose his first life.
And the MKB that I was doubting there on the Wraith King might have actually made the difference, allow him to take down that Phantom Assassin.
Tanner and who's that with him? Well, hit squad. They will find at least one support. We're seeing the buyback now of J4. He's trying to cut Wave's top lane, but shut down. Swarm and Shadow Poison doing a decent job at some long-distance poke to try and get these guys off the tower. Exo now has at least expired. There's no Deso either on the Wraith King, but they're going to make the jump back here onto the Weaver. Make that a dieback on him. And despite not having that Deso, these towers will make that structures are still going to go down. I don't know if they can get this one. Maybe this is a tower and back situation. You do have a wagon and 4 range creeps. Okay.
How desperate are you for this refresher? Do you just sell the bottle, sell the soul ring, sell the null? I think that just about gets him the refresher, but without the epicenter, without the burst strike to set things up, it's just a little too much. They're gonna have to give that one up there.
Yep. And that's the 2 important barracks down, mid and bottom. Well, mid is completely cleared, but the melee's taken down bottom. You're happy with that. Especially because Roshan is up. Tanner's going to go ahead and scout him and even hit a punch, throw a punch to the big guy. Tanner, why? There it is. Nick's not really a solo Rosher, not one of the couple you think of. And actually could use his help elsewhere because they are making some plays on the map. Shadow Demon, yeah, B is dead. Big old crit from focus and the magic damage from ads to pick it up.
Yeah, Tanner in the Roche pit. Yes, indeed, Roshan is still there.
Just needed to double
I mean,
check.
you're joking about it, but maybe Nyx with the level 25 talent, A, the agility, that's a fair bit of extra DPS. Solo Roshan with that, perhaps?
If anyone has a clip of a Nyx assassin in any position in a game that's not turbo doing Roche solo, send it to me. I'll eat my hat. I'm not wearing a hat, but I'll find one and I'll eat it. But that's not happening this time around, of course, as Focus and company will dispatch of Roshan. Now we have, once again, the double life strategy, one on the Wraith King, one on ads. And the really nice part about this is I feel like if you substitute this Wraith King with, for example, I don't know, like a TB, TB takes Aegis because you want your tower hitting taking Aegis, with second Roche especially, but then that leaves your mid laner, who's kind of this jump and dive in kind of hero, in a bit of an awkward situation because he's still very fragile at this stage of the game, especially with this build. Doesn't have a BKB, just Aegis, Shard, Kaya, and Sanj is his item build. BKB soon for him. So having the second life to back him up now is going to make him a whole lot more aggressive. And ITB, they're very quickly knocking on the door of this last tier 3 tower, standing for Ghost Frogs. What is this? They're hunting.
This game is definitely not over, though. We finally have the refresher available on the Zeus. He's just sitting in the fountain, nearly has level 20. Whichever talent he goes for, I think, is pretty significant as well. So you do have to be careful if you're ITB.
Yeah, and they've scouted ads. And very shortly will scout this Nyx assassin. No, he didn't walk underneath sentry range. So he's unseen. Ghost Frog smoked up pretty far in the mid lane. Holnet will not farm these creeps. Just kidding, he's a carry. He can't resist. He sees creeps. He's going to farm them. Under the cover, however, of Blur, it's a little too scary to just make that jump in. Focus now, with, of course, with his 20 talent with the cleave, is dispatching the waves very quickly and almost has the 25 talent. I wonder what he goes for this game. Probably Mortal Strike cooldown. Oh, Focus. Focus makes the jump. On to me, he's going to counter. There's Fan of Knives as well. Focus is going to BKB on this first life. Olnet has a Satanic, as they will at least get the BKB out, as well as Exo. Careful here, though, because the backlines are being broken. Mastermind is dead. Ads has made the jump and found the kill. Nukumati doing his best here to try and turn this one around now, but Ad's still alive. They're going to be able to take him down on his first life here any second now, but he's going to have a BKB when he comes back, and he's even going to get a pick off onto Onmi before he goes. Finally, the epicenter comes through thanks to the buyback. That's only the first life and only LeBron taken, however. Fight number 2 beginning to break out, and it doesn't seem like they're going to be able to hold back Ads. Owned to me, in trouble, has himself a blink as well as a burrow strike. He'll get back into the fountain at least. Focus is going to be able to armlet Toggle, has not lost his reincarnation life. Bottom barracks are being destroyed by the creeps, so this top lane is it for Ghost Frogs, but they've lost their PA, they've lost their Zeus. I think they've lost themselves any chance of staying in Division 2 for next season.
Very unfortunate that they don't have buyback on any of their cores.
Yeah. Could use it right about now. Everyone just being ran down. Nukumati trying to lead them away from the base with the Spider Legs active will live a while longer thanks to the fear. Gets off the Demonic Purge, but Focus slowly but surely closes the gap. Finds the kill. 3 seconds until Zeus is up. 20 more until you've got PA. Mega is coming down now. And there's going to be a stun by Onmi. We have at least gotten through the reincarnation life of the Wraith King. He's going to have a BKB again, though, and simply TPs away, not dealing with this Zeus Nimbus Cloud BS. He's out of there. BA's back in 7 seconds. Zeus ulti for Vision. They need to get something more here. They've only gotten the supports, but another BKB and TP away. ITB not risking anything here. They actually don't have too many buybacks themselves, and are very keen on not having to play a game number 3.
Yeah, if you have the buyback on the Zeus, it's a completely different fight, but only just getting the refresher, obviously you don't have the buyback there, so a bit unfortunate.
Well, careful here. There's reincarnation ready again. But Focus, yeah, he's pretty darn confident to say the least this game, especially because they found themselves on me. He's bought back as well in this fight. This will be the first dieback on the team, at least from one of the cores. No buyback for him for another 5.5 minutes, and no sanking for a further 100 seconds. Mastermind is top lane.
Mastermind desperately trying to farm his buyback there. 500 off if he gets it. I mean, a Zeus having to buy back, you're pretty much full power from the get-go, as opposed to something like a Terrorblade if you buy back. But
You know what's amazing? Real quick,
will he
sorry
be
to
able
cut
get
you
it in
off.
time? Will they be able to defend that all? That
Radiant's
is the
middle
question.
tower is
Yeah,
under
the
attack.
bounty
Radiant's
difference, though,
middle
is
tower
so annoying. That's the thing about Megas and Super Creeps. They offer reduced bounties. You can see about 280 for a full wave compared to just about 200. So he'd need a lot of waves, but they're really looking just to end this game straight up. Focus on his first life, BKBs, but the jump is so good out of the backlines once again. Ads and company destroy Olnit and Mastermind. And that is going to be Ghost Frogs out of Division 2 as they are taken down a second time this season by ITB 2-0.